It's Sally again, doing some more Magic Mike moments. And today I'm chatting with Leah Michel, who's in Oregon. Hey, hi there.
Hey.
How are you doing? Now, Leah is a pregnancy guru. As a life doula, she helps expectant parents in their second trimester gain confidence, knowledge, and peace. Wow, that sounds really awesome. Do you want to tell me a little bit how you got into all of this?
Yeah, thanks. I got into it a few years ago when a lot of my close girlfriends were starting to have babies, and just chatting with them through these, I thought would be exciting moments. And by and large, so many of them had terrible experiences in one way or another. And the more I chatted with them, the more I came to realize that for a lot of them, if they would have been a little bit more prepared, a little bit more in charge of knowing what their options are, having a plan in place, that they could have avoided a lot of the heartache, and just some of them, just the straight up terrible things that happened to them. And through that, I started looking at becoming a doula, but realized I couldn't do that with my acupuncture practice. So instead looked at one of my other passions, which is education, and how can I empower these women, educate them, help them. And that's sort of how I came into this childbirth education platform that I've started. And it's really geared toward expectant parents, because a lot of it too is geared towards helping the partner. Helping them become part of it as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. So over to where you're at now, you must have gone through a number of, your journey must come across a number of challenges or, hurdles that you had to overcome. Can you share any of these with us?
One of the big hurdles was I'm in a small town in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, right. So one of those things is it's very small town mentality. Yep. And we are very limited in our resources. So a lot of these options that parents in bigger cities have just aren't available. Yep. So that's a huge challenge. Also, dealing with a small town mindset is very difficult in very many ways, because there's a lot of stigma. There's a lot of expectations that people have because they don't know their options. So those are some big things. And just a small town mindset of, well, I don't need what you have. I can do it on my own. Yep. Which is true. A lot of women can, but there's always help to be had. Yes. So being able to offer that, huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I get that, it's just like sort of cutting yourself off from opportunities of having a better quality experience. Yeah, totally. And just have to have open-mindedness to be receptive to it. Yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And a lot of them are open to it, but they don't, because we're small, they don't know what their options are. They don't know that some of these things, oh, that is an option? Oh, okay, cool. So that's a lot of it too, is just opening their eyes to be like, yeah, you can have it too.
Yeah, wow. So, really interesting. So, with this group, the expectant parents, what do you think would be their biggest issue facing them? Taking all of this into account, I suppose.
I think a lot of it's a little bit twofold. So the biggest issue I run into with the male partners is the fact of, she doesn't need this. And convincing them that I'm so glad you have faith in her and her ability to do this. But let's stack the deck in her favor. And on the flip side, the bigger challenge for me is seeing these women and helping them deal with the overwhelming amount of information that they get.
Yeah, big time.
And breaking it down for them, because one of the big things is making sure they get proper information, not just popular information. So those are big hurdles that we have to overcome that a lot of times we don't even realize are right there.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. Myself, I've got 4 kids, and with the first child, I had every book under the sun, and it was like overwhelming me. OMG, like, oh,
Mhm.
freaked me out. I just
Yeah.
author was like, whatever. But I get it. I totally get it, and I also get that
Mhm.
influence from the partner. When it's very difficult. Yeah, very difficult. So that leads me into my next question. So, what would you recommend would be 3 top tips to help these parents overcome these issues?
Yeah. So the first one that I encourage everyone to do is to talk to real people, not just focus on, in the information age, we've got mommy blogs.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they have really good information, but there's a lot of bias that goes with it.
Yep.
Um, I myself, I'm not married. I'm married to one like idea of this is how childbirth should look, as much as what does it look like for you? What do you want it to look like? How can we achieve this goal together?
Mm-hmm.
And giving them just the facts about things so that they can pick, this is the best option for me right now.
Mm.
And a lot of that is just in gathering information, treating it as research, sort of, and like, okay, what's the information out here about interventions? Okay, let me just gather info, talk to people, see what their experience is, file it away as helpful information, not I must do this.
Yeah.
Another big thing is I call it reframe for shame.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a lot of shame revolving around motherhood, childbirth, all of parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I see a lot of moms have this, I don't want to talk about it because what if it's just me?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, so if we reframe that to be, I wonder if anyone else has dealt with this.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's not something that needs to stay hidden, something that needs to like, yeah, that you need to hide or be ashamed of.
Yeah.
But instead it circles back to that first thing of, ask real people and treat it as research and see. Just embrace the curiosity as opposed to being overcome with this shame.
Yeah.
But a lot of this all of it takes bravery and the ability to step outside and be vulnerable and open yourself up to the people that are like, no, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. I never would have with my kids. Like, okay, good. And that's worked for you. But what do you need for yourself?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. It's just, the whole time of being pregnant and having a baby, it's a joyful experience. And, it just gets tarnished with this fear and, the unknown and overwhelm. And, the more it can be a peaceful, calmful experience, the better, because
Yeah.
it's affecting the baby as well.
Yeah. And to have it culminate in such a dreadful birth experience for a lot of women is just so unfortunate.
Mm.
And for a lot of women, too, I had one couple that took my class and unexpected C-section because her baby was breech. And it was one of those things of like, okay, let's talk about during the class, let's talk about C-section. Well, I'm not going to have a C-section. Cool. Okay. We still need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And had we not had those conversations beforehand, it would have been an even bigger issue for them than it was.
Yep.
But because we had talked about it, hey, this is what happens. Oh, okay, cool. What does this look like? Oh, okay, cool. She was better prepared, as was her husband, to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it didn't have as a negative impact on her experience.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I just love what you do.
Yeah.
Love it. And the
Thanks.
difficulties that you're mentioning, small town and the mindset, they big challenges. And all credit to you for, standing firm and, saying, getting out there. It's just, as I said, I've had a number of kids myself, and if I had that experience from the beginning, I would have been a lot more relaxed, and I'm sure my son wouldn't have been so as a baby, because it really is true.
Yeah. Yep.
The more calm you are, the more calm the babies are. And,
Yep.
it took me a while to learn that, unfortunately.
Cool. Yeah. It's a learning curve, a steep learning curve being a parent.
Yeah, it surely is. It surely is. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, I just love what you're doing, but what are you absolutely most passionate about?
I am most passionate about, at the end of the day, hearing that parents have had a satisfying birth experience, even if it's not the one that they had planned, not what they expected, that it's satisfying for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Absolutely. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love what you're doing. Chat for
Hey.
But yeah, because it's man. So if people want to get in contact with you or find out further information about what you do, where can I send them?
Probably the easiest would be email. pinandtonicsbc@gmail is my email. And yeah, that's the easiest way. I'm on my email all the time, either the computer or the phone. Yeah, it's the easiest, especially with time differences.
Yeah, I know, because this is applicable to everyone around the world. And that's the whole thing about all my interviews. I'm talking to amazing people in amazing places. And, you know, the borders, it doesn't matter. It's all seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Leah, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with me today.
Thank you, Sally.
And, you know, all fire to you for getting out there and pushing through the barriers. It's awesome. It's awesome. You know, childbirth, it's one thing that's never going to end. It just keeps on going.
Nope.
The more you can help people, the better it is for the world, you know, calmer kids, calmer parents. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. Well, thanks again. And we look forward to chatting to you again down the track. Alrighty. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks, Sally.